Come on, everybody. Come on now. Yes. Yes, Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Hey, we got some news today. Pennsylvania said that we can't count certain ballots. How about that? How about that? That's a big win for Trump. Is it going to make any difference? I don't really know. But it is definitely not a game changer, but it's going to make it closer. There's no doubt about that. Now, what I want to talk about today is there's actually three items I want to talk about. One is the president-elect, the office of president-elect. Okay. Now, first of all, that's a made-up position. All right. That is not that's not in the Constitution. It's not anywhere. It's stupid. It is the equivalent of I don't know if you've ever done this, but let's just say you're 10 years old and you go to the fire station and the fire chief who's showing you around, showing you the big trucks and all that, and your eyes are about this big around, and you are made an honorary captain. That's what this is. Nothing more. Nothing more. What it is they're trying to instill in the American public that this race is already called, and that Joe Biden is in fact the president or president-elect. Okay, that office was made up by Obama back in 2008. He just dreamt it up, or his staff did, it's for a transitional period, is what they're saying. But there is no office of the president-elect. There is none. So right away, you think maybe they're a little worried. Maybe, I don't know. Could it be that they've said, "Oh, holy crap! They're going to look into this, guys. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We cheated and this is my opinion. We cheated in all these states. What are we going to do if he ends up winning? Oh my gosh, he's got a shot at this. He's got a shot at this. It's a narrow chance, but nonetheless, he does have a chance. They thought he was going to roll over and concede on this thing, and he didn't. Which I don't know who told you he wouldn't do that. That he would do that. Who told you he would do that? You're morons. I don't know who's running Joe Biden's campaign, but I could do twice as good for half the price. I really could. I would have picked a different running mate. I mean, I can go all on and on, but I would have kept him. First of all, I wouldn't have picked him as the nominee, for God's sakes. The guy couldn't even win his home state in the primaries. So anyway, president-elect. The office of president-elect does not exist. Now, so if you're talking to one of your liberal friends, which I am liberal, I was, and now I'm a Donald Trump supporter, so we'll see how that goes as far as the party and all that, because I think if he does lose, I think he's going to develop something called Trump TV. He's going to hire guys like Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, people like that are working for Fox now, which is the equivalent of CNN. As far as I'm concerned. So he's going to hire people like that. He's going to start his own broadcasting company, and it's going to be a nightmare for the Democrats. It really is, because he'll be in the news every single day. He'll say, I can almost predict he's going to announce his candidacy for 2024. And he will be running a campaign for the next 4 years, which would be a nightmare for the Democrats and the Joe Biden administration, if in fact they ever get to that position. But back to the office of president-elect, that doesn't exist. That's a made-up story. It's the equivalent of being told something when you're a small child, just to make you feel better, to make you feel good. And the whole idea is to convince the idiots out there that, oh, he is in fact the president. See, it's already been announced. No, it hasn't been announced. CNN and MSNBC and Fox that does not count. Okay. There's a process to this, and I won't go into that. I've done that before. But first of all, nothing's been declared. Nothing's been certified in any of these states. So I mean, he's not president-elect. No, he's not. So secondly, why is Joe Biden, if he's so confident of his win, that there's no doubt that he won? I mean, that's what he keeps telling everybody. They actually didn't even have a real ceremony. They got up on stage and said, "Hey, we won, yay," that kind of thing. And the 12 people that were watching were like, "Yay, that's great, Joe won." No. We didn't really announce it officially. You want to know why? Because he knows better. Okay. Now, why is Joe Biden, if he's so confident in this win, if he's so confident that this is a done deal, that it was all on the legit and it's all on the up and up, and I have nothing to hide, why would you be begging for $30 million to help pay for your legal fees? Why would you be doing that? I find that interesting. Is he worried? Is his staff worried? Is his campaign worried? I would say they are. Because I tell you what, $30 million in an election like this, a campaign like this, $30 million is nothing. That's a drop in a bucket compared to the amount of money. They will find out it probably cost $1.5 billion for these for this campaign, which is obscene. You know, you've got corporate people, you've got the Fortune 500, everybody on Wall Street, they're all on Biden's side. So they gave tons of money to this guy, tons of money, indirectly or directly. Indirectly, I mean by laundering it through Go Blue, I believe is what it was, the name of it. And then they laundered that money, ended up giving it to Biden. It should be all illegal, but since Citizens United was, since SCOTUS decision on Citizens United, all corporations have the opportunity to do that. They're considered people, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, but that's another story completely. But what I think what's funny is now all of a sudden we're worried about it. We're saying, oh man, we gotta watch this. This guy may win. He's mounting a battle plan. He's thinking about pushing this to the limit. He won't concede. So we need $30 million, which I think is obscene to ask for your voters who voted for you, that you can't come up and pay your own legal bills. That's ridiculous. Joe's worth $10 million alone. I mean, he got it illegally, as far as I'm concerned, through China and Russia and all the Eastern Bloc countries, as payoffs through his son. But nonetheless, he's still got $10 million in the bank somewhere. He's worth at least that, and I guarantee it's more than that. That's just what they can find out. So now he's going to his supporters and asking for $30 million. So he's worried. He's worried. Okay, that's a serious issue there. That's something you need to think about, because these elections have not been called in these states, and there's going to be fraud found. There's no doubt about it. I think over the next week or so, and we've got plenty of time. The electors don't meet till just a shade under a month from now. We've got plenty of time to get this settled. Georgia's still counting. Arizona's still counting. Trump's filed lawsuits in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. I mean, go down the list. There's a lot that can happen in that amount of time. So go out and ask your constituency for $30 million, I think is amazing. And it's very, very telling. And I'll also tell you something that I think is telling is mainstream media is already referring to this pushback that Trump is mounting as a coup. A coup. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, he fired somebody at the Defense Department. Oh, he's thinking about mounting a military and staying in office. That's nonsense. That's not what's happening. He's fired people in the military probably because they deserve to be fired, from what I've read, and they were holdovers from the Obama administration. So anyway, that's that aside. But the media is now referring to this as a coup. Okay, that, my friends, is an obvious weakness. They feel, I guess you'd call it hedging your bet, because if he does win, they're going to do everything they possibly can to delegitimize his presidency. Yeah, so not that that's going to hurt anything, because what they're going to say is, well, he won the popular vote, 76 million to 72 million. Yeah, okay, sure. That's not how we keep score, okay? You guys fought. You guys used the same logic in 2016. Hillary got the popular vote. Yeah, well, that's great. But in a football game, what do we count? We count points scored, not yards gained. Okay? And the same thing in baseball. Do you count runs scored or you count strikeouts? No, you don't. Strikeouts mean nothing. Yards gained mean nothing. It's at the end of the day, it's the points scored. And in a presidential election, it's electors, electoral votes. That's what you got to win on. Okay. It's not who's prettier. It's not who's smarter. No, popular vote means nothing. I don't even know why they keep track of that, honestly. But anyway, 76 million to 72 million. So, I mean, statistically, it's right in the middle. The country's broken right in half, okay? Which we all knew that anyway. We all knew that. The country's always been divided, I mean, at least for the last 20 years. Even through the Obama administration, the country was divided right down the middle. It really is. And the politicians have nobody to blame but themselves. No unity whatsoever, unless you win. You know, Joe comes out, we all need to stick together. I'm your president, whether you voted for me or not. I'm everyone's president. No, you're not. First of all, you're not elected. You're not even the president-elect, first of all. And secondly, you can take your unity and stick it up your keister. That's not going to happen. You think 72 million or 74 million people are going to just turn around and say, "Oh golly gee, we lost," even though they cheated. So we're gonna sit around the campfire and sing Kumbaya. No, we're not going to do that. They're going to fight him every step of the way. You know, and he's going to have what would be, well, getting back to Trump. I'm not going to go on with Joe because I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think at the end of the day, I think SCOTUS will weigh in, and they'll have to say, you know, we have to side with Trump. He's right. They cheated. They did. We know they cheated. Yeah. So what they're going to do, they're trying to delegitimize it like they did over the last 4 years. I mean, what was it originally? First of all, they spied on him, and they attacked everybody that worked for him. They got Manafort, and they act like that had something to do with Trump. It was illegal stuff he did like 10 years ago. You know, they're trying to explain to you that, somehow or other he's surrounding himself with crooks. And, well, if you're at that level, you probably did something shady at some point in your life, okay? And they got Manafort for that, which I thought was a bunch of crap, but whatever. And then they go into this Russian collusion thing and the P tape, you know. Oh, he's friends with Putin. Oh my God, we got to stop this guy. He's I think Nancy Pelosi called him a puppet of Putin. Yes, I believe that if I'm not mistaken. And so they did that, and then we impeach him. So you're telling me that Donald Trump's worried about you calling it a coup? I don't think so. Not a chance, because. Even today, he's in the news constantly. Joe Biden had to take a shot at somebody in order to make the front page, even though he's supposedly president-elect, right? That's not true. So good luck with that, especially if he starts something like Trump TV. If he loses, that's going to be Democrats' worst nightmare, because you're going to actually have a broadcasting company that tells the truth and actually does some journalism, I would think. Yeah. Because Trump's not going to do this just to make money. He's going to do it to stick it in their side. That's what he's going to do. And I don't blame him. You lose an election like that that's close, and I can't believe it. See, here's the other thing. Now, that all aside, what I think is hilarious is the mainstream media and the pollsters had it completely wrong. They had Joe up by 12 points. You know, he had a 95% chance of winning. If you're in the polling business right now, you probably need to start filling out, updating your resume, because this is not going to work for them. Not at all. So polling is a thing of the past. Polling, I've said that all along. How do you get a hold of these people? I've never been polled. I bet you haven't either. Have you ever been asked a question about a political race, be it local, state, or even national? I mean, no one. I used to get calls when I had a landline back in the 80s and the early 90s. But once a cell phone showed up, especially when it came to caller ID, you can't get a hold of these people. No one. Do you answer your phone if you don't know the number? Of course not. You let it go to voicemail. So they can't get a hold of these people. So they're making this stuff up. Not only that, but they're oversampling for the Democrats. That's why they ended up with a 12-point lead. Which turned out to be a farce. It did. It doesn't exist. Yeah, it made him look really bad, and I feel sorry for some of these guys because they're going to have to be looking for another line of work. Polling will be a thing. Polling will be a joke. It'll literally be a joke. I would not want to be in their shoes. I mean, it'll go the way of the buggy whip and the spittoon. Yeah, you may see remnants of it, but you're not going to see an actual. No one's going to pay attention to it. You're going to pay attention to a poll that CNN puts out? Of course not. Not unless you're a CNN watcher and you're a true believer, which is really sad if you are. So anyway, that's all I got today, and I will talk to you next time.